bookshop is a place of refuge. A bookshop is a place where you are not judged for what you want to read. After leaving school, I went to drama school. In the first week of drama school, my lecturer gave me Kerouac's On the Road and Salinger's Catcher in the Rye, that was kind of, that saved me from a life as a mediocre out of work actor and started my love of literature. So we were very much a niche bookshop for many years, and we pretty much knew every customer that walked through the door by name and by their likes, their reading likes, and we would order accordingly. And in the last 10-15 years, we've been going through quite a transitional phase where we're losing that old guard, and it's difficult getting a new readership, a younger crowd through the door. I think they're reading as much, if not more than ever, but their shopping habits are different. When I first started, it was kind of at the end of the book world, where we pretty much only had, there was an Australian publishing industry, of course, but it was still quite small in the 80s. We had a lot of UK imports. They were brought in by distribution companies within this country. But over the last 20 odd years, we see a lot more American books into this market. And then of course the internet came and shook this industry from its foundations up. And we're still battling the fallout from the introduction of the internet. It's difficult getting people out of their houses onto the street and then into a shop. That's a constant struggle for us, is getting people onto Hindley Street and in through the door. It's much easier to push a couple of buttons and have it delivered to your doorstep a few days later. We have a curated collection. There's 3 of us that work here, and we all influence what is on the shelves. We all have our likes and dislikes. I'm eternally optimistic, and I don't think the book as object will ever die. I mean, there was the whole e-revolution. We dabbled in e-books for a little while. It's nearly impossible to compete in the marketplace against Amazon and Kindles and major companies like that. I think it's a shame that libraries are that some schools are getting rid of their physical library. I'm an advocate for reading. I really don't care how a person reads, as long as they're reading. But there's, and you know, for me, and maybe it's just a sign of my age, there's nothing like the physical object of a book. It's such a wonderful piece of technology. It's, you know, it's portable. So you don't need a source of power. You don't need batteries for it. You know, and when the world falls apart and you know, it's going to be, and the lights go out, it's going to be impossible to charge your e-reader, and all you need is a bit of sun or a candle stub and you can still read your beautiful book. And if it's a terrible book, you can set fire to it and keep warm, which is also very important. We act as a filter, I think, because, as I said before, there are so many books being published, and what we put on our shelves, we don't guarantee or read everything that we have, but we've done a lot of the hard work for you. The kids that come into this shop read, and they can express what they like and dislike. I wouldn't have expected the changes that we've encountered over the last 30 years. So, I mean, there's a part of me that kind of hopes the book becomes retro. You know, if we can become the new vinyl, perhaps. The new vinyl. The new vinyl. So all those hip kiddies out there can, you know, they rediscover the joys of walking into a space like ours. And I mean, the internet's great for buying things in a hurry when you know what you want. But if you come in here, it's about the stuff that you don't know you want, or it's about the stuff that we know. Because we sell books, we read books, we love books. We can point you in different directions. We can share our knowledge with you. But you've got to come through our door and engage with us to do that. And if you choose to do that, we'll be more than happy to serve you. I think there's a place for the book to become more beautiful, become more aesthetically pleasing, so people are driven to purchase the physical object. A case in point, years ago, Richard Flanagan published a novel called Gould's Book of Fish, and it's one of the most beautiful novels I've ever seen. It was published in hardcover with marbled end papers, and each chapter had a beautiful colour plate of a fish and a different coloured ink. So aesthetically, you know, it was just a joy to have this book on your shelf. Yes, you can read it in any format, but the physical object in your hand, the weight of that book just made such a huge difference. It's the place that I spend my working life. I love bookshops. I love the smell of them. I love the feel of them. I like how each one is, or each one should be different. And they're places of discovery. More than anything else, a bookshop is a place of discovery.